Hello, my cosmic friends. Welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Cosmos Tarot 2. My name is Cosmos. Nice to meet you if you are new. And if you're one of my subscribers, hello. Welcome back. Thank you for being here, guys. I appreciate it. In this channel, I use the tarot to learn more about K-pop. K-pop groups, K-pop companies, or just the industry in general. Today, we are going to take a look at BTS. In case you don't know who they are, if you are new to K-pop, because I never assume that everybody knows about everybody, okay? Here's a little introduction to them. And as always, feel free to add more detail if you feel that I forgot to mention something, okay? Just keep it respectful, guys, okay? All right. BTS is a K-pop, boy band that consists of 7 gentlemen. They are RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook. BTS debuted back on June 13, 2013. So they've been around for a long time. They work under Big Hit Music, which is now a subsidiary of Hive Entertainment. As of today, BTS has finally completed their mandatory military service. In case you didn't know, in South Korea, all of the gentlemen, they have to go to the military to give their service. How long they serve, and if they may be excused from military service, well, that depends on whoever is examining them and individual circumstances, okay? Because there have been cases in which it's not just the regular people, but celebrities have been exempt from military service. Okay, let me put this away. And I'm going to start off this reading with their current energy. I always do that with all of my readings, so I will start off with their current energy and move on from there to see what we can learn about them. I don't really have a question in a specific that, we're going to focus on when it comes to BTS. I did open up the door of opportunity for you guys to ask questions about them. I will do that in another video, okay? So this is going to be part 1. With my reading, and then part 2 will be all of your questions. All right, guys, and thank you for waiting, guys. I know I took a little break. It was longer than what I was expecting, but hey, I'm back. Also, if you keep hearing noise in the background, that's just my neighbor doing whatever the heck he's doing, okay? He's always building something or cutting a tree or something with the yard, okay? All right, BTS. Your current energy. Ooh, thank you. We have 3 in there. This one. Okay. Never mind that one too. You guys saw that, right? I hope the camera catch that. I put the deck down and that one just came out of there. So you know what? We'll take it. Okay, it wants to be first. Let's see. Well, that's interesting. We have remembrance. And if I sound weird pronouncing something, it's not on purpose, okay, guys? English is my second language. And there are times I just pronounce things in a weird way, okay? We have resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. Okay. I see Mr. Jungkook and I see RM with this. Okay. In every fandom, there are psychos. They call them sasaengs, which are extreme quote-unquote fans. I don't consider those fans. I consider them psychos. Not that long ago, there was this psycho woman that went to Jungkook's house, and she was, trying to type in the pin to get inside his house. She even had her suitcase with her. I don't know what the hell this woman was thinking. I don't know in what universe these psychos thinks that, the idol, whether it's a man or a woman, right? The idol is going to see you and love you because you're stalking them and acting horrible. But yeah, that is something that Jungkook did not miss at all. Having psychos coming to his home, delivering stuff to his home. That is something he never missed. And, well, he dealt with that in the past. And now that he is completely back out of the military, he knows that is something he will have to deal with. So remembering, the negative feelings that came with dealing with psychos, that is something he wishes would not happen, but at the same time, there's a part of him that knows it's gonna happen. And the same with RM. I don't know how often Mr. RM has dealt with psychos. I know that it has been more common for Jungkook, but it looks like RM has also dealt with psychos, and he's not happy about that. That is the one thing I do see him going, oh, I don't want to deal with this, not again. In fact, both of them, RM and Jungkook, feel that, you know what, if I could just grab them and throw them in jail and never let them out, I would. Or even better, if I could throw stuff at them, maybe that'll finally give them the idea how annoying they are, I would. Of course, they're not gonna do that because, well, they are grown men. They know that actions have consequences, unlike these psychos. But yeah, remembering that feeling of, you know, having a psycho invade your sanctuary, your home, that is something that they have been remembering, and they don't want to deal with that. But, well, they know that companies encourage that, unfortunately. We have Thinking of You, 11 Thoughts, Serendipity. V and Suga. It looks like before, you know, although the 7 members were out of the military, they were thinking about that reunion. Just being together once again, laughing, teasing each other, yes, working, and also working out. I see them that, like working out as a group, I see that. But just, you know, having that camaraderie, I think that's the word for it, camaraderie, that brotherhood back. They were really looking forward to that. Eating ramen, I also see that, eating ramen. You guys let me know how much BTS loves ramen, I guess. We have Lost Love, Surrender, Healing, Release. I keep hearing past relationships. Okay. And then we have Purification with Water, Emotional Cleansing, Rejuvenation. I don't know who has dated before in BTS, okay? I can't remember. There was one of them that did say he had a girlfriend a while ago, but they ended up breaking up. But it looks like some of the members some of the members have had secret relationships. Why secret? Because, well, once again, psychos. They fear for the safety of their significant other, so it looks like some of them have had secret relationships. And hold on. Let me grab my notebook again. I see myself grabbing my notebook. What is this? Not RM. Jin came close. It looks like he was just talking with a girl, but it was never official. Suga, yes. J-Hope, yes. But it looks like some of them didn't last very long. Not Jimin. V, yes. And it looks like it's a yes for Jungkook. Interesting. But yeah, once again, the safety of their significant others, and, well, during that time as well, their careers. Now, BTS, well, it's known as a very successful group now, but the journey to get there, oh boy, it was held and back, basically, for them. So, to have the knowledge of them dating, or just simply talking with the opposite gender, it would have been a horrible thing to happen. So that's why a lot of these relationships did not blossom. But from time to time, it looks like these gentlemen, they wish that, you know what? I wish it would have gone a little further. I wish that we had worked out through, whatever the obstacle was at the moment. But at the same time, they understood that, well, if word got out, the psychos were going to go nuclear on them. And it couldn't end badly for their careers. Secret of Mother, a message of love. BTS hopes that now that they are grown men, even though there's still some people that see them as children, almost teenagers, BTS as a whole, they hope that, well, now that we're all grown up, I believe they're all in their 30s by now, so now that we're in our 30s, hopefully, I mean, there'll always be cycles, right? In any fandom, not just BTS, but in any fandom, there's always the cycles. They hope that the other part of the fandom, the regular, the sane part of them, they hope that they understand. And that the normal fans, their approval is bigger, even though they don't need the approval of fans, right? At the end of the day, they're going to do whatever they want. But it just feels nice to be supported, no? They hope that the normal fandom, that their noise is bigger than the noise that's going to come from the psychos. Now that they are grown. Okay, we have apprehension, harmony, productivity. It's under the description here. That caught my attention. Okay. And we have flame tree, the start of something new. Like I said, BTS is a very successful band. Very successful. But, at the end of the day, the gentlemen, they're still human. So there are those moments in which they wonder, ooh, have they forgotten about us? I mean, nothing wrong with listening to other bands, right? Whether they're boy bands or girl bands. But do they still remember us? Will they still like the things that, we're going to have for them? From my understanding, BTS is going to have a world tour in 2026. So, yeah. The diehard fans, of course, they are dying, waiting for them to come back. There's the occasional fans, and then there's the fans that have heard their songs before, but not really made up their mind if they will continue to listen to BTS. So there's always that little bit of apprehension, that little bit of doubt, like, ooh, are we still gonna work out the way we did before? Now, I don't see this being a big doubt. Maybe like a 5% of the time. But, like I said, they're human, so, doubt comes to mind. Apprehension sometimes comes to mind. And speaking of their world tour, I do see them in the studio, recording, writing, discussing what they need to do. Planning out that tour with the start of something new. Planning it out. It looks like right now they're deciding, okay, which venues will be the best to? How big? How small? Stuff like that. And the cities as well. Manchester? I just heard that. Manchester? I don't know where that is at, honestly. So you let me know if you know of Manchester, but I just heard that. So it looks like they're planning to go there. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to grab this deck now. Let's see. BTS, what else do you want to share with us, gentlemen? And yes, I do say share with us. Of course, you're always free to not believe me. And maybe you just listen to my videos as background noise. Nothing wrong with that. But, hold on. Not this one. This one and this one. But sometimes when I am doing my readings, I hear or I see that I am not allowed. So sometimes, things come up and I hear you're not allowed to know. Or sometimes I hear that is personal. And when that happens, I let it go. I don't dig further into it. Why? Because, well, number one, it is already said we're not allowed. And that's bad karma on me and on you for watching. So that's why I say, what else are we allowed to know? Okay. This one says the Fool. The Fool card. Okay. Too childish. I just heard that. Too childish. Well, I see BTS just having fun on the stage, messing around, pushing each other, making each other laugh. It looks like, well, some people are gonna say, oh my god, you guys are grown men and you're too childish and blah 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 blah. You know, there's always those that gotta say something and what they say is not a positive thing, right? So don't be surprised if you hear about that. Oh, jeez. Okay, we have the Ten of Cups. You know what? I see money, like literally money raining down. Hive, of course, is beyond happy. And I keep mentioning Hive because at this point, we don't really hear about the subsidiaries, but we hear about Hive. And Hive was basically formed because of the success of BTS. So Hive is very happy, of course, that all of this money, all of this revenue is gonna be coming in. I mean, it has never stopped coming in, right? It never has. Even with the time that, you know, BTS was in the military, I don't know if it was 3 years or more than that, but even with all of that time, well, the money kept coming in. And now that they're gonna go on a tour, oh, it's definitely gonna keep on coming even more. We had the Queen of Cups. Well, I do see wins for BTS. I do see music wins for them. So yeah, whether people like it or not, BTS is still gonna be successful, winning not just awards, but also winning money. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. Okay, what does a knight do? Their duty is to what? Protect the king and the queen, right? Protect the kingdom. You know how I mentioned with people calling them childish and blah 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 blah. It looks like also BTS is gonna have unexpected defenders. Okay. You know how the comment section looks, right? In Instagram, I see YouTube as well. You know how the comment section looks. Well, I see a lot of people saying, you know what? I don't stand BTS, but you guys are being childish. I don't really like BTS, but you guys are being mean and stuff like that. So there are going to be people coming to BTS defense, not just their fandom, but, you know, unexpected people from other fandoms and people that just flat out don't listen to them, but hey, they don't like what they see. Okay. We have the Emperor. Okay. The Three of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. Oh yeah, a lot of money. And the Eight of Swords. Okay. Well, Ban Si-hyuk, also known as Ban PD, he is the founder of Hive. And like I said before, BTS had a really rough journey to be where they're at. At one point, they're almost disbanded. But Ban PD, well, he believed in BTS, and thankfully, you know, everything went well for BTS and Ban PD himself. So Ban PD is going to continue to be happy with BTS. Currently, one of Hive's subsidiaries is Adore. Adore is having a legal battle with their group New Jeans. And that thing has been going on for I don't know how long at this point. So, you know, that has put a stain on Adore's and by default Hive. So Ban PD, he's saying, oh, thank God, we can forget about these girls and now we can focus on something nicer, something that makes us look better and, well, something that is profitable. So BTS comeback is very welcome by him. Here with the Three of Wands, the Three of Wands can literally mean traveling, like physically traveling, or it can mean, you know, spiritual, emotional movement. It looks like BTS would like to go to more countries. Not just the usual ones, whatever the usual ones are, okay? I am not an expert, but It looks like they would love to go to more countries, not just the usual ones. I see Africa. I don't, well, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I don't follow BTS, okay? But it looks like if they can go to Africa, they would like to do it. They are aware that ARMY, that's their fandom name, ARMY, well, they are from all over the world. So they would like to visit more places all over the world to, entertain and show their appreciation. And yeah, Queen of Pentacles, like I said, money, they're not going to be lacking that. This Eight of Swords, though. The Eight of Swords, the figure, whether it's a man or a woman, that depends on who decides the tarot. The figure in the middle, the eyes are tied, the hands are tied, there's swords around him or her to stop their escape, to keep them there inside that make cage. The life of a K-pop idol is a brutal one, okay? A lot of your personal freedoms, something simple like having a cell phone, that can be restricted. Some companies are more known by how cruel they can be, okay? In some companies, they still restrict you, but they slowly, they give you your freedoms as time goes by. It looks like some people would still like to restrict BTS. And you know what? This deck is catching my attention. But yeah, even though BTS, obviously, they're not rookies anymore. Since 2013, was it? Yeah, 2013. So more than 10 years in the industry, obviously, they're not rookies anymore. They don't, not that any K-pop trainee needs to be very restricted in what they do, but they don't need restrictions. But it looks like some people still want to do that. Restrict where they go, who they talk to, what they are allowed to do. I also just heard that, what they are allowed to do. And I see them going on variety shows and stuff like that. The way they talk, yeah, it looks like some people would still like to treat BTS like that, even though they're not rookies anymore. They're grown adults at this point. They're not, there's really no reason. Not that there's a reason why you should be restricting every single little thing somebody does, but yeah, it looks like some people would still like to do that. Like 1% of the time, it looks like Bang PD himself, he would like to restrict BTS a lot because, well, they belong to his company, number one. And Bang PD is not the CEO of Hive anymore, but that is just something for the public. Behind the scenes, though, he still controls everything, okay? He still has a lot of power, a lot of influence. And I saw myself grabbing this deck, so let's see. What else do you want to tell us about this Eight of Swords here? Okay, another restriction, a very common one placed on idols, is dating. Some companies, they really don't want you to date at all. And then there are those that are okay with you probably not dating the first 3 or 5 years. And then you can date whoever you want. Allegedly, there are some that have no dating bans at all. But it looks like there's some people that would like to restrict that on BTS. Once again, even though BTS is not a rookie group at this point, and they're not a new group either. But yeah, it looks like some people still want to treat them and control everything they do, like back in those days. Okay, we have the Moon, the Three of Wands, okay, Two of Cups. Okay, we have the Princess of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Some of that, desire to restrict them, it comes from jealousy. Some of it comes from jealousy. Sometimes, the people that work in the K-pop industry, producers, managers, choreographers, and stuff like that, and a bunch more, okay? A lot of them They were trainees themselves at one point, but they didn't make the final cut. So now they work in the industry. So part of it is jealousy. I mean, even though BTS, they work their behinds off, they earn their spot, well, there's still jealousy. Some people feel that, oh, that should have been me for some reason. And, well, there are psychos that have delusional fantasies about idols, not just BTS. Well, unfortunately, within the company, within Hive, there are psychos in there. And they are those that would love to get married with them. And it's not just women. I see some men in here as well. And I don't know BTS personal taste. I don't need to know that. But there are psychos in there. Some of them, once again, they're lost in their delusional fantasies. They would love to, be with BTS, get married, all that stuff. And then there are those that would simply like to get together with them because of money. Simple as that, money. BTS, all 7 of them, they're very well established. They have earned all they have. They have a great reputation. I mean, from the industry's point of view, right? You can have another opinion about BTS, but at least from the industry's point of view, they have a good reputation. So who would not like to just come and, enjoy that? They'll pretend to love and care, right? As long as they get the comforts and stuff like that. My gosh. Okay, this deck is catching my attention now. Some tarot readers like to use one deck. I like to use several in my readings. What do you want to tell us when it comes to BTS? And this one, let's see. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Wands. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Many times I've been asked, is there a possibility that another BTS will come up in the future? And based on current energy, tarot is not a solid thing, okay? It is based on current energy. So based on current energy, no. It is not possible. And you know what? We're not talking about Blackpink, but I also just heard it is not possible to make another Blackpink. I just heard that, okay? I know we're not talking about them, but hey, I picked up on that. When BTS starts their tours and stuff, as a group, I know that individually some of them have done solo tours or will do solo tours. Correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I know some of them already have done solo tours. Once they come back as a group in 2026, oh, it's going to be explosive. In a good way, okay? In a good way. And it looks like they might do solo stages. They will do, their group songs. They will do solo stages as well. We had the Four of Cups. Brand deals. More opportunities. I see a lot of juice, sodas. A lot of them are Asian drinks. We had the Empress. Yeah. More fame, prosperity. Even more advancement, as if they're not big enough, well, they're going to be even bigger, no matter who likes them or doesn't like them. The King of Wands. Okay. Once again, there's still going to be those that would like to restrict BTS. Because, well, they know that if BTS at any point says, you know what, I have had enough, I am leaving, they know that, well, they have 0 to no power to stop them. And I'm not saying that because BTS has a big ego and stuff like that. No, but, it happens. Even with your dream job, there are times you're like, you know what, this is not worth it. I feel like quitting. And eventually, well, you might end up quitting. If that were ever to happen, well, they know that they have no power. Now, I don't see BTS quitting anytime soon, okay? In fact, I see them in their 40s and I still see them on stage in their 40s. So, okay, we have the Emperor and the Nine of Cups. Yeah, like I said, there are times Bank PD would like to restrict, but he knows that he can't. So he's still observing closely what they do, what BTS will do, what they do now, but yeah, that little itch to pull them back, restrict them is still there from time to time. And well, with the Nine of Cups here, that basically represents success. So once again, money is not going to be an issue. Success is not going to be an issue. There will be those that, just hate comment for the sake of hate commenting. And in this day and age, just so they can get the clicks, so they can get the views. Or their 5 seconds of fame. Trying to go viral, okay? There will be those. But whether you love or hate BTS, whether somebody else loves or hates BTS, yeah, success is in their future, in their hands. Yeah, once again, I don't see them lacking money at all. So yeah, look forward to 2026, guys. It's gonna be a good one. And oh, okay. I was about to say that is all, but you know what? This one caught my attention at the end. So what do you want to tell us? Okay, okay. And this one. Okay. A ver, let's take a look. We have beauty. Okay, you know the saying that says men age like fine wine? Don't be surprised, there'll be plenty of compliments like that for them. Once again, prosperity. So there you go, confirmation. In whatever prosperity means to BTS, okay? We have energy. And wisdom. It looks like BTS is also going to be having like a mentorship role from time to time. When trainees and other idols, even though they already debuted, they come and ask them questions. It looks like they will be sharing their wisdom, the things that they have learned in their journey with them. It looks like energy will be high for them as well. Yeah, some people might say, their energy on stage, it sucks and blah, 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 but the members themselves, they're putting a lot of energy in their stages, okay? So yeah, once again, whether there are those that hate them, whether there are those that love them, BTS is successful. Okay, now I'm done. Now I don't see anything else. I don't hear anything else. I'm not picking up on anything else. So I know this one was kind of long. So if you stayed around, thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, the next video is going to be your questions only. So that's going to be part 2 of BTS reading. As always, if you have a request, let me know. Just wait your turn, guys. You can also skip the line by actually paying me for a reading. You don't have to, of course, but if you do, that will be $35. I also have memberships now. I will start making videos on my membership tiers. It is not obligatory, only if you can. And I will have another live Q&A coming up soon. So yeah, a lot of fun things to look forward to. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Thank you to BTS, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.